So they said that you was weak. And then they looked at all the things that you overcame and they said, well, that can't be true. They said that you was just lucky. But since we all know that luck doesn't last very long, and they keep seeing you do more and more things to elevate yourself, and they said, well, maybe it is work that they're putting in. Maybe it isn't luck. Maybe they're actually putting hard work in. So then they see that that's not true. So they said that vulnerability is weakness. But then they saw you being vulnerable and they saw you achieving and they saw your energy and they saw your strength. So then they said, well, that can't be true. And they said you was crazy, you was off your rocker. But then they watched you and listened to you and saw that you made more sense than they could sometimes. They saw that you approached your conversations from a logical standpoint. They saw that you had spiritual discernment. They saw that you had good common sense. Yes, they saw that you were eccentric. Yes, they saw that you were not the norm. So they said, well, if he can go or she can go into these schooling places for an extended amount of time and achieve something there, if they were insane, would they be able to sustain what needs to be sustained in order for them to achieve a degree or certificate or anything like that? Or get gainful employment on a consistent basis? Or either sustain anything whatsoever? Who do you know that is really crazy that is consistently sustaining anything substantial? Anything. Even a mindset. Even a mindset. So then they had to say, well, the evidence doesn't point to them being crazy. Maybe a little eccentric. Maybe a little too much in their head. Maybe the traumas and things in which they've been through have affected their judgment or how they see things to the point where they get overly paranoid at times, or they have anxiety, or maybe they got some PTSD and it makes them express certain things in an erratic way from time to time. But who doesn't experience that? And who that has not been through an extreme level of trauma does not face those things? Does it mean that they are not a productive member of society? Does it mean that they cannot function at a high level, have a family, be successful, make something of themselves, and be a safe space for other people? Does it mean that they're not fit to be in society? So then they see that these things are not true. So after all they have said, and all the things that they've said have been, what do you say, dispelled? Myth, what are they, that show? Mythbusters, right? So all the myths have been busted, right? What is left that they have to come to the conclusion of regarding or as pertains to the things that they were saying about you? This is what they have to come to the conclusion of. They said you were crazy. Now they have to see that they might be crazy. And they were just projecting something onto you. They said that you'd never be anything, but they saw you being something. Now they have to look at themselves and see what they weren't being. They said all sorts of things, and they turned out to be myths. So what happens then? They have to look at themselves because they were wrong. But what made them go so hard in that perception and be so wrong? And be so wrong. It's a point in which they have to now turn and look at themselves and say, what was I seeing? What was I seeing? I wasn't seeing them, but this is what I saw, which means that there's something wrong with my perception. It means there's something wrong with the way I think. It means there's something wrong with the way I see things. It means there's something wrong with me. What's up, Breathe? How you doing? So there is a theory that says after all things are investigated and proven untrue, whatever remains must be the truth. Okay? So this is the reason why you have to continue to elevate. It's not necessarily that you do this to prove other people wrong. It's not that. It's to prove it to yourself. Because a lot of times what the people say can cause you to begin to embody that saying. And before you know it, you are now acting out the opinions of what other people have said about you. And you don't even realize it because they have been around you so long. So long. So there comes a point where you have to do this. You have to elevate yourself for you because you have forgotten the abilities that you have based on being around scallywags, suckers, haters, people that are miserable, low self-esteem, people that hate themselves and project that on the other people, people that have decided that the only way to go is to be superficial in the world and then give that to other people. People that decided that there is no room for dreamers when everything you see around you was from the dream of some other mind. Everything you see came from a vision from somebody's mind that it did not exist already. Hi, dear friend. How are you? So as you are looking at this, let me tell you a story, and I think I probably already told this story. There was a student, and this student, his teachers, her teachers, let's not put a gender on them because this applies to everybody, put them through a grueling test. Hey, I'm in Baltimore right now. Baltimore, Maryland. So it was a grueling test that they put them through. The type of test that will risk someone's life. The type of test that will, by the end of it, they were bruised, battered, bones broken, barely could see, traumatized to the fullest degree, but they got to the end of it. And when they got to the end of it, they crawled across the finish line to their teacher's feet. And they said, with their last gasp, being at the point of almost passing out, they said, I made it. I made it. I made it. And the teachers looked down at them and said, "Yeah, well, we knew you would make it. We knew you would make it." At that point, the student thought for a second about this and said, "Wait a minute. So you're telling me that you knew I would make it, meaning that I didn't have to go through all of this for my training? You mean to tell me that you put me through all of this and it wasn't even about you seeing what I could do? You knew that I would make it. All of this I went through." And the teachers looked back at the students, said, "Well, yeah, we knew, but you didn't know." We had to put you through that because you kept denying your strength. You didn't know that you could make it through. And you have denied your strength so much and denied your opportunities to be great and to be a dreamer and to create new things in this world and live in your purpose. You've denied it so much that the only way that we could get you to see it, that you had this in you, was allow you to go through this hell. We had to allow people to take advantage of you. We had to allow relationships to destroy you. We had to allow family to take you for granted. We had to allow jobs to treat you less than what you were worth, pay you less than what you were worth. We had to allow you to walk through this life with low self-esteem, with people constantly trying to bruise you and batter you just so that they could feel good about themselves, put you in a box and make you fall in line with whatever they wanted you to be. We had to allow it to happen because there would be no other way that you would see that you can overcome all of it, that you can rise above all of it, that you don't need any of those people at all, that you're a powerhouse, that you're a warrior, that you've always been, that you've had God inside of you since you were born. And you have suppressed that part of God that's inside of you. You put it in a ball and you wrapped it up real tight and you hid yourself from it and decided to live whatever piece of you is extended into the world that everyone else sees and that people will accept and that people will like. Because if people liked you, then it means that you can like yourself. You're allowed to like yourself because people liked you. If there was a relationship with someone odd or weird or something like that, but you really liked them, you couldn't like them. You had to suppress your feelings for them because other people wouldn't like them. And now you finally realize that you are a follower, but that's not who you were meant to be. You have been a follower so long, following a crowd of followers. That's called the blind leading the blind. You've been doing it so long that you have forgotten that you're royalty. You've forgotten that you have a goddess inside of you. You have forgotten that you have a God inside of you. And I'm going to say that because in Psalms 82 verse 6 it says, "Ye are gods, but you'll die like men." So I'm talking about the little g. You've always had it inside of you, but you would not move on it. Too afraid, too worried about being singled out. You spent too much time when you were a teenager trying to figure out how to fit in, to just throw it all away now, to give up on the fitting in. Before you realized it, you forgot that you were doing things to fit in. And you just fell in line. And since everybody else was doing the same thing, it didn't look like you guys were trying to fit in, so you could be okay with it. But yeah, that's exactly what it was. It's just everybody around you was doing it too, so that made it seem okay to you. Means that you don't have to address it. But if you want to fall into that God energy that you have inside of you. If you want to be a true leader, you got to go against the grain. You can't be afraid of people calling you crazy, people that are crazy. Calling you crazy, how much weight does that hold? Well, it may hold quite a bit of weight if there's a lot of people, if it's a large group of people doing it. But I'll tell you, every leader that you can think of, right? In the beginning, they were ostracized. They were looked at as if they were nothing. They were treated as if their ideas were crazy. They were treated as if their vision was off, twisted. Some of them were even called devils, but they had God protecting them the whole time. When things are foreign, people look down on it. They got a problem with it. They got an issue with it because it makes them uncomfortable. See, when you meet someone that's really not like you, but is elevating though, has characteristics that you want, but they're really not like you, that's really going to cause you to feel some type of way. Because then you start to doubt, like, what is this? What? And then it makes you feel so uncomfortable that you're just like, well, let me get away from this person. Is too much. That's something in you. That's not about that person. That's something in you. You can't accept that someone can be vulnerable and not weak. That has nothing to do with that person. That has to do with you. So you feel like you need to put this person through a bunch of tests? No. The whole time you're being tested by God to see if you'll treat a person fair, to see if you'll treat a person right, to see if you are worthy to have that love that you want. Yes, you've been abused. Yes, you've been hurt, and it was wrong. And so you think that you deserve something better. But there's something that you ain't been doing. And it's just been covered up because somebody hurt you first. But it may be that if that person didn't hurt you, that the stuff in you would have came out and you would have ended up hurting them. That's the truth. Them hurting you first just gave you an excuse not to look at what you probably would have done to them. And you know how I know it? Because when you do finally get that good guy or that good girl, what do you do with them? You don't even know what to do with them. And you end up fumbling them. You end up hurting them. Hurt people, right? You see? It's time to come out of follower mode and access that hidden leader inside of you. It's time. It's time. Small steps. Nothing real big, just something different. The way to change is not to try to change, but to just do something different, little by little, every day. Consistency. Consistency is the key to success in every area. Inconsistency is the key to failure in every area. Patience is a part of strength in every area. Impatience represents weakness in every area. You knew it. You knew it. You didn't want to think about it and you didn't want to see it because you're afraid to admit the weakness in yourself, and that's pride. Pride doesn't do anything but create pockets of weaknesses inside of us that we run from and we hide from. And it makes us want to break down and destroy anybody that threatens to reveal that to us so that we can heal. So I know why I have a lot of enemies. Because I reveal the weaknesses in others, because I've conquered those weaknesses in myself, or either I'm in the process of doing so. That's why I know I have to contact you all and speak to you all from being at a distance. Many people wouldn't take being around me for a long time. It would hurt too much. I understand that. Treat people good. Give God his props and be your authentic self, regardless of what anybody thinks. And have a good day. I'm en route somewhere to be. I love y'all, and I'm gonna always give it to you, but with love, because I really care. I know what it is to get through this and to get to the other side of pain, and I want to help you get there. If only I can just get you to trust a little bit. Take care. I appreciate you, Breathe. I see you, Girish. I think that's how you say your name. Will, what's up? Khan, how you doing? And I appreciate you being here. I hope this message reached you well, and I hope it did something positive to bring something good to you. Yadakum Allahu wa yusluhu balakum. May God guide you and set right your affairs. Until next time. One.